Hi guys, welcome to Investing with JYK. And I've been away for quite a while, and there's a couple of reasons. First, I was sick in the sense that physically sick. So I had a flu and I lost my voice for a while. And I've been busy going around different places and there's stuff that I was traveling around recently. And I will be going. I'm currently in Italy, and I will be going to China very soon. So it will still be very spotty coverage. But anyways, I thought it's a good time to do a recap of all the stuff that I've analyzed and see how they turn out. So I've listed these things out. So first, we have the ticker, and then what exactly they are, that is, and then when I first analyzed it, and what my opinion was, and what the price was, and back then, and what the price is today, and how much the win and loss is for that particular ticker, and what I think about that company now. I mean that stock at the moment. Okay, so first one is MBT. That's a Russian telco. I was bullish of it because it was cheap. Um, and the second one is L Brands. I thought it was cheap, and I don't like it as much now. It feels like, um, I mean, on one hand, there might be a Christmas bump, but then the brand, I've been talking to a bunch of my friends. They basically no longer are too enamored by Victoria's Secret. I'm talking about women that I know. Very anecdotal evidence. So, but anyways, I thought those were still a bit informative. Sears Bond. So basically, this is a story still of whether this thing's going bankrupt or not. If they don't, we'll go to 103 plus. If they do, maybe there's a 50% recovery. I don't know. And this Emperor Entertainment Hotels Limited is a Hong Kong net story with a bunch of corporate governance issues. And I'm still bullish because it has cash. In terms of earnings, it might suffer because of the trade war, but that is a separate thing. Tesla, I am bearish. I'm still bearish. Nothing really changed. AMD, I was bullish. I'm no longer bullish. I think they're gonna do fine. Um, I just think the price has fully reflected its potential. Jiangsu Expressway, the Chinese toll road. I am still bullish. It's cheap, relatively cheap. It's like 10p a year. It's reasonably cheap, and it pays a good dividend, and it's just a cash cow. It may go down a bit more in the recent, like foreseeable in the foreseeable future, and if it does, I'll buy more um, because China's PMI is going down. So if China actually enters a recession, these things will go for really cheap. Shenchuan is a Chinese port, and then the main story is the restructuring. Once they do restructure and issue a bunch of equity, you will actually get a more. Essentially, people will be buying your 9 Hong Kong dollar or 10 Hong Kong dollar for 21 Chinese yuan. So yeah, so I still like that. China Merchant Ports. It's again Chinese port. I'm still bullish. It's gone down a bit, basically because trade war fears and whatnot. So, but Nevsun, it's a copper mine. It's getting bought by a Chinese miner. So that was a pretty big gain. So there isn't much upside anymore. Maybe there's 10 cents or something like that, it becomes a more merger arbitrage, so it's a different kind of thing. I don't think anyone else is going to bid higher. Guangdong Expressway, another Chinese toll road, I'm bullish. Nothing really changed. Price didn't change. I'm still bullish. LOOOOOOONG, Chinese toll road. Sorry, a Chinese textile company. Very boring business. I'm bullish. I'm still bullish. It says like a 10 PE and it pays a good. It pays most of its thing out, and you can get maybe a 10%, a little bit more or less than 10% per year. Beijing Airport, bullish, still bullish. Nothing really changed much. I did, however, miss one dynamic in Beijing Airport. I misunderstood. Actually, did not misread. I misunderstood the impact of the one of the regulation changes. So basically, they were like 25% of their aviation revenues going away in 2019. So Gree Appliances, I'm bullish. I'm even more bullish now. It has gone down quite a bit in price. So one thing to add here, it might look like this manufacturer with 2 PP is quite expensive or on the expensive side, but there is an overstatement of their liabilities. So I will make another separate video to explain that. Seiko, I was bearish, and I think I was wrong. Not because of the price change alone, but mainly because of I actually found someone that used it. I thought this like almost like vaporware. I've never seen or even heard of any person that has ever used this company's service, but I found one, and that person did use the app for buying like one of the luxury brands, and that person is indeed in a tier 3, tier 4 city. So it's a tier 3 city. So that is quite. So I think my thesis was wrong. But I still think the company is shit because they do all kinds of weird stuff like an 8% convertible and goes on about blockchain and shit. None of these are good signs, but they have a business. So my thought like nobody's gonna use it, or nobody used it, or that's just wrong. South Africa, I was bearish. I'm still bearish. Nothing really changed. They're gonna now change their constitution to remove the clause that says the government can take property with just compensation. They're gonna remove the just compensation part. Right? So that's bad. It's like almost turning communist. Ensco, that's a offshore drilling rental company. Was bullish. I'm still bullish. They're still selling at like 0.4 pp or 0.35 pp or something like that. KWA, that was bullish. I don't have an opinion now. The main thing was I actually turned bearish on its largest subsidiary, which is well, not a subsidiary. It has a large equity holding in Galaxy Entertainment. I'm bearish on that thing, and I'm actually short that thing at the moment. I've never analyzed it here, but yeah, so that's why I have changed my mind. And the main reason is trade war. If trade war has any effect on Chinese earnings, it's gonna mostly impact the people with the money, so people that can't afford to do big gambles, so the whales. So that is the bad part. Pakistan, I was bullish. Now I'm bearish. The main reason is I was underestimating the impact of the impact of what do you call this? Currency, the currency, the currency risk, because they will have inflation, they have foreign debt. They did, however, get IMF bailout recently, so it's not like a super bearish, but like semi-bearish. I read Dalio's book on big debt cycles, and I think that clears a lot of the questions that I had regarding like currencies versus equity valuation and stuff like that. LGIH, I was bullish. I'm still bullish. Nothing really changed. They are selling at like 8 PE at the moment, and they haven't had community growth in the sense that they sell houses in different communities. The number of communities they now sell at did not increase, which means they probably won't grow that much for the rest of the year. But at 8 PE, I don't think there's anything that you need particularly, and also U.S. economy might be slowing down. We don't know. One thing is that housing and autos is always the two sectors that slow down first. Whenever anything gets tight, these two they will suffer first. So Bright House Financial, I was bullish. I don't have an opinion now. The reason is I think I was underestimating the how much it relies on the U.S. equity market, and I think the overall U.S. equity market is elevated, and then it does not bode well for Bright House Financial, even though they're selling quite cheap, which is why I'm not bearish on it as well. I closed my position myself. I don't have a position on it, and I don't have a view on it at the moment. Micron, I was bearish. I'm still bearish. And the reason is the same. It's a cyclical stock. It made too much money. AGO, I was bullish. I'm still bullish. It was cheap. It's still cheap. And with almost radio silence, Puerto Rico is improving. And if you check Puerto Rico, specific chart for Puerto Rican news, things are getting better. C-SPAN. Preferred, I was bullish. Now I have no opinion because the price has increased. That's really the reason. KTP, JC Penney bond, I was bullish. I'm still bullish. JC Penney has had a worse quarter, but this is this is a bond, and maybe you won't get paid out much, but currently the yield is like 20%. You may think it's sucker yield, but these are bond payments. So as long as this JCPenney does not go bankrupt at this current yield for 5 years, you're done. Now Russian gas, Gazprom, I'm bullish, still bullish, still very cheap, 3P, 0.2 something, 0.3 PB, and starting 2020, they will have even higher export capacities. Oh, excuse me. Uranium. Now we get to uranium. UEC, I was bullish. I'm still bullish. They went up quite a bit, then they gave all that back, and recently they had an equity issue of 20 million shares, which is quite significant dilution, but they probably use that to pay off the debt. They say they're going to use for exploration, but I think they should use it to pay off the debt or something, I guess. But overall, the uranium story hasn't changed. Uranium price has increased a lot from $20 to $27 since I was making these videos, I think, or something like that. Now it's $27. So I think by the time these go to $40, UEC will be starting to make quite a bit of money. Polyros, I was bullish. I'm still bullish. Nothing really changed, except the price went down. GoVX, I was bullish. I currently don't have an opinion. I have now changed my stance in thinking about like miners. I no longer want a miner in some in Africa. Basically, I just don't want it. Because the reason is I can get very cheap miners in US and Canada. I don't really want to risk it in Africa. Energy fuels, I was bullish, although I was less bullish on it than I was with UEC. And on the contrary, it went up a lot more than UEC did. So I guess that's a miss. Chemical, I was bullish. I'm still bullish. They recently had a win on the tax court thing, and that pushed up the price quite a bit. So they also paid some dividend, which is quite nice. But nothing really changed since I last analyzed this stuff. Actually, something did. They closed MacArthur River. Yes, I think that's when they announced it, or I forgot whether when I analyzed it whether they shut down MacArthur River. But yeah, MacArthur River is now shut down. Then that. So yeah, here is the overall. So let's just take a quick look at whether this is any good. Big win in AMD. A fairly good win with Jiangsu, and I think this will continue to do pretty well. Good win with Nevson. Pretty quick too. And MBT, pretty good win. Lbrands, okay. MBT is not a good win, it's just okay. LB is okay. And we have some losses here, small losses. Small loss. Reasonable loss. Small loss. Small gain. A fairly significant loss, but this stuff is just amazingly cheap at the moment. I just think the Chinese investors are a bit stupid sometimes. Seiko, big loss. QD. Oh, I didn't talk about this. I somehow skipped this. Yeah. I no longer have a view on this because it's close to book. I still think it's a pretty stupid company. Does stupid things, but it's now close to book. And if they don't lose money, I mean, maybe they have some optionality value that it might do well. We don't. Very small win, but I think we'll keep going down. This is a fairly good win. I think this is at least a double from here still. Give it 3 years maybe. This is a big loss, and I think most of the loss came from the trade war, and in fact, as soon as the trade war started, I kind of turned bearish on Galaxy Entertainment, and which means I kind of stopped being bullish on this, but I never updated, so bah. Pakistan, decent, an okay loss. I mean, like that. And then large loss on LGIH, but I still like it a lot. Micron, Bright House Financial, a reasonable loss, and then small gain was Micron, and a reasonable gain was AGO, and SSW, very small gain. I mean, it's a preferred one. It's basically it's a bond almost. KTP, a pretty big loss. Small gains, very small gains. Okay loss. and some good gains with uranium, and yeah. So let's see if we sum it up, which is useless. Average 6%, probably underperformed the market. And what about median? Let's see if I can do a median here. Median I2 to I33. Median is 1.4, which probably underperformed the market. I don't know. It probably underperformed the market. So yes, so if you listen to me, you might have underperformed the market. But yeah, this is just my analysis, and then you have to, you always have to form your own opinion and make no guarantees about anything. And also, I have a tendency to buy falling knives. So actually, let's see how many of these are falling knives. One here, one here, one here, one here. Well, this one isn't. That's a falling knife, but I caught the right one. Falling knife, falling knife, falling knife. This one didn't really fall that much. Falling knife, but I caught it. Falling knife. This one, no, this one wasn't that. This one is almost a trend. This one is almost trend following though. So this one's almost trend following as well. Falling knife. I forgot what this was. This is a falling knife. This one wasn't. This one's a falling knife. And this was a falling knife on the other side. It was going up when I was thinking about shorting it. I'm actually shorting now still, but this is again a falling knife story. I think this one had AGO. I don't remember. Shipping. This one is preferred. Is not nothing. KDP is a falling knife. Essentially, it's trying to buy distressed stuff. Falling knife here. This one, long term, it was a falling knife. Polyrus, not really. This one, no. This is a very speculative. This is speculation. This one is a falling knife. This was a falling knife. So yes, I have a tendency to pick falling knives. So be very careful. And that is it for today. I probably make some other videos, but yeah, that's it for now. And I hope you made some money.